Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about perfumes that alter my brain chemistry. And what I mean by that, and let me know if you understand what I mean in the comments. It's when you smell something for the first time and it's so good that you're going like, oh my God, what is that? Like, you're so intrigued, you want to keep smelling it, you're confused, your brain doesn't understand what's going on. It could be like a very good perfume that you're just blown away by and you've never smelled like that combination in your nose ever. Or it could be a perfume that has something very unique about it that, again, you've never smelled before, so you just kind of want to keep smelling it and you're like unsure what's going on. These are the best experiences. I feel like if you're watching this video, it means that you love perfumes like I do. And what that means is that we keep kind of chasing that feeling, chasing that high of like smelling the perfume for the first time and getting that feeling. I don't know, I'm sure it's not just me. Let me know in the comments if you had that experience and which perfumes really caused that for you, because it's so interesting for me to know. And I'll just get started. So let's go way back to 2017. I didn't start school yet. I was just working in a bar and my aunt was visiting. So we went to a little Sephora trip and just looking at makeup. At that point, I didn't really wear perfume. I mean, I always had a perfume I was wearing like on a daily basis, but I was never collecting them. I never knew what notes were. I didn't really know what I liked or what I didn't like. Usually if I like had my birthday or something, someone will give me a perfume and I'll just wear it. So it was never something I was really interested in. But my aunt, she's more into perfumery than me, apparently, because that's what happened. So we went to Sephora and I was just looking at makeup, and then she called me over like the fragrance aisle because she smelled something. And she said, oh my God, you have to come here, you have to smell this. And it was this perfume. It was Black Opium Floral Shock. So this is the flanker to the original Black Opium. I think this was released right around the time we smelled it for the first time, because it was probably like centered in the Black Opium family. And this is the Floral Shock, so it's a lot more floral, has gardenia, and it also has solar notes, which is very interesting. Anyway, when she smelled this, she had to call me over because she was blown away. And I smelled this, and I still remember that feeling, that it's like that fuzzy feeling when you're smelling something and you're so excited. At that time, I don't think I was really into gourmands, or I didn't really know I like gourmands. And because Black Opium, we all know, has coffee, this still has coffee, even though it's more floral, it still has that coffee at the base and vanilla. And I think that's what really drew me into it, because I was blown away. I was so blown away. I literally thought to myself that whoever created this perfume probably created something like for my brain that I didn't know I needed, just basically me in a bottle. And it's such a good feeling to have. And I didn't really buy it because, again, I wasn't really much into perfumes and this is an expensive one. I told my friend and my boyfriend about this, and yeah, just lived my life. Sometimes I would go to like Sephora or Shoppers and just spray this and that's it. I really wanted this. It was on my wish list, but I wasn't really gonna buy it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're really not into perfumes that much, you're not just gonna splurge on a bottle like that. But yeah, it was something I really enjoyed. And then my boyfriend surprised me and gave it to me, and this is the bottle he gifted me. How many ever years ago? We're married now, so it's been 8 years since he gifted it to me. And as you can see, I worn it a lot, but I haven't finished the bottle. And that is because this was my signature scent for 2 years straight. I would wear this every day. Like I went to school, then I had my internship for 8 months, and I would wear this every day to the office. And at some point I just got really sick of it, which is really sad to say. I actually am still sick of this and I don't wear this, but at this point I'm just keeping it as like a memory, as a sweet memory and a collector item. Yeah, it's 100 ml, so I did use quite a bit, but really not a lot. I would only spray 2 sprays a day, so it doesn't really get you that far. So yeah, that's the story about this one. I really like this. I still think it's a great flanker to the original. I don't like the original. I still think this is better. And I recently got Black Opium over Red, which is amazing. And I also think it's better than the original. So if you're still looking into the Black Opium's world, try the flankers. They're usually better than the original. That's just my opinion. A couple years later, like 2022, I think, my mother-in-law was visiting. Her signature scent is Burberry Her, and it's a really nice scent. The perfumer behind Burberry Her actually is Francis Gurgian, which is one of my favorites. He's behind Baccarat Rouge 540. And I think it's a great perfume. It's not something I like love or own, but it's her signature scent and it smells amazing on her. And that was around the time when the Burberry Her Elixir came out. So we went to Sephora and I just wanted to try. And I told her, oh, we should try this perfume because it's like a flanker to your original Burberry Her. And then I smelled this and I was immediately blown away. and then I let her smell it and she didn't like it at all. So it's crazy because again, it's a flanker to the original Burberry Her, but they're so different. Like if you like that one, doesn't mean you love this one. And for me, I'm like partial to the Burberry Her line, but this one, it smells like a love potion. I don't know, it's so nice and like strong. It has vanilla, strawberry, blackcurrant, and jasmine and amber. It's very strong and very sweet. It's a really nice strawberry scent, but it's not a jammy strawberry. It doesn't smell like strawberry jam or a strawberry milkshake. It's very powdery in that sense. So it's more like a powdery strawberry with a lot of blackcurrant and jasmine and amber. I don't know if that made sense, but it's just very nice, feminine, powdery type of scent. I really love this. It was my wedding scent. I absolutely love this. The reason this was my wedding scent is because I loved it so much. Because when I had my wedding, I already had a lot of perfumes and I just had to pick one. And it was not a question that it would be this. Because again, this really smells like me in a bottle and I still feel that way. Even though this I got sick of because I wore this every day and I no longer wear it. I learned that I should have variety so I don't get sick of my favorite scents. And ever since I just had one signature scent, I will never have one signature scent because I will get sick of it. And this I will never get sick of because I just rotate them. It smells so good. And if you spray this on your clothes, it will last for like a week. It's so strong and so nice. And surprisingly, even though my mother-in-law thought that this was a little bit too powdery and too sweet for her, other family members and friends I have who don't necessarily love sweet scents like this. So that's really surprising to me. I don't know what it is. It's definitely very sweet. Like this is one of the sweetest perfumes in my collection, but a lot of people seem to really like it because it's very unique, very interesting, unlike anything else. And I just love this so much. So this will forever be like a wow moment for me. Moving on to a perfume that at this point, it seems like it's almost like okay to hate on this all the time and it's not okay to love this anymore. Very confused about why. I understand it's been overdone and people copied it and people talked about it too much. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just a classic and it will always be. And it kind of changed the fragrance world because it was so unique. That is Baccarat Rouge 540. When I first smelled this perfume, I remember not understanding what was going on. I sprayed this on my arm. I smelled this from the nozzle. Super confused. I didn't understand what I was smelling. I did get that rubbery gloves, doctor office type of vibe, but I also got the sweetness and I was very confused. I sprayed this on my wrist and then the whole night I was just catching whiffs, trying to understand. I went on Fragrantica. I read all the reviews. I was so confused and I determined I didn't really like it. But then over time I smelled it again and I fell in love. So I think it's just a very unique perfume because first of all, this DNA, no one has ever done this before. This combination of notes is just crazy. That's why it's so popular because it was so unique at the time and people just tried copying it and that's why we have like 1,000 million dupes at this point and people are sick of it, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It really changed my brain chemistry because again, I didn't really recognize what I was smelling. I didn't really understand my brain, my nose, it didn't process it. But as time went on, I processed it. I think I smell this the intended way now. I absolutely love this. I have the full bottle. Disclaimer, I prefer the extrait version, which is the red bottle, not the clear one, but it's super expensive. So I just ended up getting this one. This was a wedding gift from myself to myself after my wedding. So that's how I justified it. If you absolutely love this perfume, nothing really beats this. Like no dupe in the world will ever gonna smell as good as this smells. But if you're like, I don't mind it, like I like it, but I don't love it, don't get this because it's super expensive. I don't think you should spend that much money if it's not an absolute love because at this price range, you're supposed to love it. You're supposed to be obsessed. You're supposed to just admire this. This is like a masterpiece. So definitely this changed my brain chemistry. I think it altered the entire perfume world. And if you hate this, don't let me know in the comments because I don't really care. I love it. I know it's fun to hate on it. I just don't see why people need to talk about it every 5 seconds. It's not a personality trait, okay? Last but not least, it's pretty recent. I only have one more left and that's crazy because I smell so many perfumes, I own so many perfumes, and I love so many perfumes. But to get to the point when you're smelling a perfume and you feel something, like very strong and almost like either you really love it or you're like confused about it is very rare, and I think that's the feeling we all chase. So when I started my YouTube channel, my TikTok channel very recently in the summertime, I went to Sephora with my mom because I wanted to like smell popular perfumes at Sephora and like share my thoughts. And Father Figure by Phlur was a perfume that everybody kind of talked about, but I was not really intrigued because I'm not really a fig or like a green perfume type of girl. I prefer my gourmands. So I was just smelling stuff. I was just literally like smelling a bunch of perfumes, and this was one that I just took and I smelled and I was like, whoa, what scent is this? I still feel that way because it's pretty new in my collection, so I haven't completely gotten used to the scent because also I'm rotating my fragrances now, so I will never get used to any of the scents anymore except for this one, unfortunately. Insane. If you're like me and you're typically a gourmand lover, a vanilla lover, and you just don't think you're into figs because you tried fig perfumes before and they really were what you're looking for, this one also has iris and orris root, and it makes for such a creamy and interesting type of perfume. I just don't know if it should be considered a green perfume or floral or like a creamy aromatic type of perfume. It's just everything combined. So unique. And the crazy thing about it, it like works with any season. In the heat, it works great because it really is refreshing with that fig. But then in the winter time, kind of the powderiness of the flowers come through, and then you feel very cozy in this. Other seasons, it just works for any season. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that this is a very unique perfume. I still am very intrigued, and it's every time I smell this, I'm like, wow, what is in here? It's so interesting to me. A lot of people say that fig and orris are like the new it girl perfume notes, and I feel like I need to try all the orris and iris perfumes. I think mostly orris actually. I need to try them all and see if they all smell similar to this, because this scent profile to me is completely new and I'm completely blown away. This I took to my honeymoon. This was my honeymoon scent because not only this smells very interesting and like creamy and powdery and delicious, it also smells luxurious to me. And actually the first time I smelled this, it smells very nostalgic. It also reminded me of a hotel room. I told my mom, it smells like, don't you think it smells like clean sheets, like at a hotel room, like a fancy hotel room where they freshen up your room and there's a really nice scent bubble, but also the sheets are clean? And she didn't really understand what I was trying to say. Basically, my point is that it's luxurious and very clean, but it's also not. It's also creamy and sweet and uplifting and floral too. It's so interesting. So if you haven't tried this yet, I highly recommend you do. To this day, I'm blown away. I'm actually to this day blown away by all of these. This is just the most recent one. And that concludes my video. I really want to hear about your experience, the perfumes you tried and you were like, what am I smelling? And I just think it's the best feeling. I definitely want to keep smelling perfumes so I can get that feeling again, even though it's very rare. Especially the more you try perfumes and the more you learn about different scent profiles and combinations, kind of expand your palette, or like your nose palette, your nose senses. And I feel like over time, things will all become kind of boring, which is kind of sad. I hope I'm wrong, but as I continue this hobby, hopefully I'm still gonna get like some really nice hits like these ones. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.